bombings, truck bombings, poisonings, but more importantly, the right-wing Trump supporters are going to cut the power with a hack attack, and they're going to be working with the Russians, and they're going to cut the power off maybe in the whole country, and then the feds are going to have to cut off the internet, claiming the attacks on the infrastructure are coming to the internet and only let you get certain messages and redirect under Obama's kill switch to government and approved websites, corporate media. You'll be able to go to USA Today and CNN and the Washington Post and the New York Times and the LA Times, and your local TV station will still be up and running. But everything else not approved as a trusted source, kind of like under lockdown. Well, you're not essential. You can't leave your house or go to the grocery store or go to your job. We said you're not essential. Well, anyone not in the new InfraGard, NewsGuard program will be shut down. You just won't be able to get to your URL via ICANN. We'll go to break. We'll come back and talk more about this. But as sure as God put the sky up there so little blue birds wouldn't bump their heads, that's locked and loaded and getting ready to go. Ba-boom. So what are we going to do about it? Well, let's talk about it when we return. Then I got all the pedo news. It's huge stacks today. And then Jacob Chansley, the Q-Shop, live on air responding to the Trump arrest for January 6th. Stay with us. Welcome back to the final segment of hour number one. The Q-Shaman joins us next hour. Well, recently, Sergey Brin was at the World Economic Forum with Klaus Schwab, and he talked about AI predicting elections so you don't need to vote anymore. The technocrats will tell you who the winner is, and they've always said for decades that WEF, their goal is to get rid of elections and have, quote, technocrats running things. That's the Bloomberg famous headline. Elections to be replaced, leaders to be replaced with technocrats. Well, that's called technological dictatorship, technocracy, and here he is.
The technology now is that digital technologies mainly have an analytical power. Now we go into a predictive power, and we have seen the first examples, and your company very much involved into it. But then the next step could be to go into prescriptive mode, which means you do not even have to have elections anymore, because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be. Can you imagine such a world?
Why do we need elections? Can you imagine such a world? Well, what did one of the top election computer scientists tell Congress before they stole 2020 and 2022? He said Google and Facebook and others are already stealing it by making it 96% leftist propaganda and not letting them have access what others say. That can swing things 30 points, and is. Unless you're aware of it. But now, the old days they'd show you a push poll. Oh, the candidate's 10 points ahead. No need for you to go vote for the other candidate. You'll just waste your vote. Stay at home. It's brainwashing. Like Theranos that the WEF and Bill Gates were involved in. And that woman that just got convicted and sent to prison. And they're like, oh, 100 blood tests a minute. Oh, it was all a fraud. 2024 will be a litmus test for AI effect on elections and voters' faith in them. Theranos scandal. Who is Elizabeth Holmes and why is she on trial, now convicted? It's scam after fraud after scam. Yeah, they now have top influencers that are AI. They're these supposedly beautiful women talking about their beautiful bikinis and all the rest of it. And men are now wanting to form relationships with that like something out of the new Blade Runner movie. Yeah, there's one of them. But it doesn't have a family history. It won't take care of you when you're sick. It's not going to make a child with you. It's not a real person. I know you know that, but that is their attempt to have illusion and a computer showing you what you think is the perfect woman. So while the AI takes over womanhood, the left attacks real women and doesn't want them to have a role, so they don't have the power in society and culture.